Welcome back to another episode of Love It There. Hallie, how's it going? What's new?
I just took my graduation photos actually, which is kind of depressing. I feel like
so
it's
if you're
finally
watching on
starting to
video,
hit.
but if you're watching on video, this is why Hallie is like full face makeup, hair done, and I'm literally in like a hoodie and barely have anything done to my hair or face. So
Yeah, I did full glam today. So
full glam. No, you look
yeah.
great. That's
Oh,
sad though.
thanks.
Yeah, you're taking graduation photos.
Yeah, I
It's
was like actually depressed. It was kind of emo.
oh my gosh. Well, did you do like with friends or was it just like
I just
solo
did me.
shots?
And
Okay.
then a week from today, my roommates and I are all getting photos done.
Okay.
So that'll be really fun.
I was gonna say that'll be fun, but I feel like that'll be really emotional.
Not with like my roommates.
Oh,
Like,
okay, that's good.
I feel like that's just like not our vibe.
You were just emotional by yourself.
Yeah, I was because it was the first time like putting on the cap and gown, and I was
okay,
wow, I cannot believe this is happening. Also, it's just weird because this is going to be like the first time I've actually graduated, because when I graduated high school was during COVID.
True.
And so we didn't even get like a ceremony, or like I like put on my cap and gown for photos, I guess, but it wasn't like, it didn't feel like graduation.
Oh, that's so weird. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, we drove the car around the track and you got your diploma through the car. I forgot.
Yeah.
So you've never like walked across the stage and gotten a diploma?
No. Which I mean, like, I know it's not that deep.
No,
like,
it's not. But that is weird to think about though.
Yeah, I've never experienced like a graduation ceremony before. So it's kind of exciting.
Hopefully it'll make college graduation a little bit more special, because for me it was like, and for a lot of people that go on to grad school, it's like you're not done with school. So college is just like a stepping stone and you're like on to the next thing. And so hopefully I feel like my college graduation, I was like, woo, yeah, I'm done with college, but I'm starting
on to the next
grad school in 2 weeks. So hopefully this will make it feel more special for you.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. I think it's going to be fun. But yeah, so that's what I did today. What else is new? Oh, I went to a baseball game on campus this past week. And one of my friends like had a suite. So that was fun.
Oh, nice.
We got like free food.
An IU baseball game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so it was like nice because we didn't have to like pay for anything. We got free dinner or whatever. And so we like first get there and the national anthem plays like right when we walk in. So we like immediately like stand like, ready, listen to the national anthem. Yes. And there's a lady in the suite that like is opera singing along to the national anthem.
Like she's not the singer. She is not
the singer. She's just like singing along. And she's like a good singer. Like she clearly like knows what she's doing, but it's like, girl, like you're not the singer. Like what? It was just like so weird.
What were other people's reactions?
We all were like, me and my friends, there were like 6 of my friends there, and we're all like looking at each other, like trying so hard not to laugh, because we're also like, what is happening? And like, what, like, who is this lady? Why is she singing?
Did you know her or
no? She was just like
in your suite,
just in the same suite, but like none of us knew who she was. And so obviously this is going on for like 45 seconds. And by the end of the national anthem, I'm like, I actually am crying. Like I have like tears down my face, because it was like physically putting me in pain to try to hold in the laughter for that long, because it was so funny.
I mean, that's like a long time for that to be going on and to hold in your laughter.
Like full on opera singing in the suite.
When you're with other people trying to hold in laughter too, it just is so funny, because you look at them and they're like shaking from trying to contain their laughter.
I didn't even realize what was going on until two of my guy friends were standing in front of me, and the one like looked over at the other, because I thought that he thought that the other guy was singing, and so he like looked over at him, but then realized it was like the lady on the other side. And so I saw like that interaction, and then that was what made me start laughing. And then it was like once I started, I couldn't stop, and then me laughing made the people behind me start laughing. So it was just like a chain reaction. It was like, I don't even know if I'm like telling this story well enough, but it was so, like, it was just more funny because I like legit was crying because I was laughing so hard.
No, that's amazing.
But yeah. That's like pretty much all that's new.
Well, we have a good episode on Segovia today. We're going to get into that content. We don't have a ton. Hallie did a little trip there when she was studying abroad in Spain. So we're going to hit kind of like the hot spots for you. But for sure, if you've been to Segovia, I'm sure there's going to be a lot that we're missing. But we will definitely get to that. I just have a couple stories that I need to tell Hallie and all of our listeners about this past weekend that I had. Did a little bit of traveling. We went to Dallas for a friend's wedding, which it was a beautiful, beautiful wedding. I was telling Hallie off the pod and I like started crying, telling her about the details. So I'll spare you guys from seeing me get emotional. But yeah, we had a great time. It was with all my college friends. But okay, a few things. First of all, I don't know if this is a normal thing, but Hallie, have you ever ridden in an Uber with a driver who's had like someone in the passenger seat with them?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's not that uncommon?
It's
like what was
not...
the scenario where was it like their kid or their like partner or?
No, I think it was just like their friend was like going with them on the Uber
just like
rides.
hanging out. Okay.
Yeah.
But
were
they
it's
like
only
talkative?
happened to me like a couple times. Yeah, and they were like talking. Yeah.
Okay. Well, because one of my friends was saying she had this weird situation with the Uber and there was the picture that was of the Uber driver that was supposed to be picking her up when the car pulled up to pick them up. That person was in the passenger seat and there was a different person driving. So she was like, okay, this is just a weird situation. And she like felt creeped out by that because she also like had never had like two people in an Uber already. So she like canceled that Uber and got another one. And I was like, oh, I've never even heard of that, of them having like someone else in the Uber with them. And so then we ended up having an Uber and it was like this middle-aged guy and he had maybe his teenage daughter in the car with him. And so I was like, oh, maybe this is a Texas thing because this was twice in Texas now that this has happened. And I had never heard of that before, which it's not that weird. That's not like the weird part of the story. This daughter was like silent, but it just made me think like, I don't know. I mean, I guess, well, she seemed old enough to stay home alone. I don't know. I was like, why would she want to just like come and hang out with her dad?
There? Yeah.
At work if she's just gonna be, it'd be one thing if she was like, this is so fun, can I come with you, Dad? But she was just like sitting on her phone. So yeah, that was interesting. But this Uber driver was we like thought we were getting abducted for a second.
Okay.
We were getting back to our hotel from the venue after the wedding, and so the Uber driver is dropping us to our hotel. In the same parking lot complex as our hotel is a Raising Cane's. And
oh, nice.
A couple of us had never had Raising Cane's before. And
okay.
So we like ask our Uber driver, oh, do you mind just dropping us at Raising Cane's? And because it's in the same hotel, like parking lot as our hotel, we would just walk back to the hotel after. So we're like, do you mind just dropping us off at Raising Cane's? And he was like, oh, sure, no problem. And so he's pulling into Raising Cane's and he's like, oh, or the like, he couldn't get to the parking lot. He's like, how do I get in here? Whatever. And we're like, you just drop us here. Like, we'll just walk. Cause like the car couldn't get through. We could just walk over like the grass median or whatever to get in. So like, just drop us here. We'll just walk. And he was like, oh no, I know you ladies are in heels. Like I'll drive you around and get you there. So we're like, okay, like, that's fine. Yeah. And so he like drove us around, gets us to Raising Cane's. And so we're like, okay, perfect. Like you can just, drop us here. We'll go in. He's like, oh, looks like they're only doing drive-through. And so he pulls up to the drive-through, but we like look in and there's fully like the inside is full. I mean, there's so many people inside clearly getting food inside. And he's like, looks like only the drive-thru's open. So we're all just like, there's 6 of us in the Uber. We're like, what is he doing? Like, why is he doing this to us? Which is fine. It was nice of him to take us through the drive-thru. So I'm like, is he just trying to get us to like buy him something? Like, I don't know. And so then he just pulls us through the drive-thru and we order and we get our food and then he drops us off at our hotel. So it ended up being totally fine. It was very nice. He just pulled us through the drive-thru and then
had he ended the ride, he wasn't like charging you for that, right?
No. He was just
okay.
like, yeah, he didn't charge us any extra. He was just taking us to the drive-thru to be nice, I guess. But
maybe he just really liked you guys and like wasn't ready to leave.
Maybe. Honestly, I could see that because, yeah, we were talking about Raising Cane's and he had something that he did with the Raising Cane's NASCAR, like the NASCAR that's sponsored by Raising Cane. So he was like showing us pictures on his phone. So yeah, I think he was just enjoying our company maybe. But we were all looking around at each other like, who's gonna tell him like we can just go inside? Like, I don't know. It was just so funny. But
yeah, that is very odd. Wait, okay, but also what were your thoughts on Raising Cane's?
I didn't know the concept that it's like there's 3 things that you can order, and I'm like, I thought for some reason it was like Chick-fil-A. Like people talk about the Raising Cane sauce, so I thought it was like Chick-fil-A where there's like a bunch of different types of sauces. So I'm like ordering, I'm like yelling through the drive-thru, and I'm like, do we choose our sauces now? And the lady's just like silent taking my order, and one of my friends was like,
we have a newbie.
Yeah, my friend was like, Kelsey, there's one sauce. I was like, okay, never mind. But we just got the 3-piece chicken tenders and it was good. The chicken tenders were a little small, but
I know. Good. I feel like it's like a lot of money for what you get, honestly. But the sauce is so good. Texas toast.
I did not have the toast. I just had the fries and yeah.
Oh, dang, the toast is really good.
I was still full from
have you ever had
barbecue that we had at dinner? So,
oh yum. Have you ever had Dave's hot chicken?
No.
I like personally like it better.
Where is that? Is that like a southern thing or?
I don't know. It might. I think like hot chicken is like a Nashville thing, so I think it's from like Nashville.
Oh, okay.
But that honestly could be wrong. I don't really know. But like at IU, there's a Cane's, and then like 2 stores down, there's a Dave's Hot Chicken, and it's like basically
which
the
is
same
more
thing,
popular,
but like Cane's. But I think Dave's Hot Chicken is better. Like I prefer that. But that's like definitely a hot take. Like nobody agrees with me on that. So
what do you like better about it? The actual chicken or?
I just like that it's spicy. Like I feel like it has more flavor. Yeah, this has nothing to do with Spain at all. But like
we can
I just wanted to get your take on it.
Yeah. No, it was great. It was good.
Anyways.
Okay, and then 2 other stories. I didn't write these down. I'm hoping I'm not. Oh yeah. Okay, I remember now. Okay, so now this is when I was flying to Dallas on my plane. It's like a 3-hour flight, and I've never been on a plane before where someone has snored the entire 3 hours from when he sat his butt in his seat to when he stood up to get off the plane. When we were just like, we hadn't even taken off yet, and he is fully snoring so loud, like a choking, like in his throat sort of sound of snoring. And it lasted the entire time, like through takeoff, through landing.
Annoying. I'm sorry. Yeah. I would have been annoyed. And it's like, I know people like can't help it if they snore, but
I know. Yeah. I felt bad because he had his AirPods in, so I'm sure he didn't know. But if I was sitting next to him, I definitely would have like elbowed him and been like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to bump you.
Oops,
but I would have done that the entire flight. The lady sitting next, so he was in a row diagonally behind me, and the lady sitting next to him was like leaned forward in her chair with her head turned to the side away, or else if she was sitting back in his chair, because his head was like turned to the side snoring, it would have been right in her ear. So she was like leaned forward to get out of the way.
No, that sounds awful.
It was like this sweet old woman that was just trying to get the snoring guy out of her ear. But
poor lady.
And then on our flight home, there was someone snoring too, and it was less often. It was more broken up. It wasn't the entire flight, but it was still, I'm like, I've never actually had this problem before, which surprised me. I'm like, of all the flights I've taken, I've never had a snore.
Like, you would think that would be more common.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's why you need those noise canceling earbuds.
Right. No, it didn't bother me. It was more just like funny because like every once in a while it'd be like a really loud one and you're like, oh, yep, he's still going.
He's still asleep.
Yeah. So I just thought that was funny. I don't know what you would do if you're like a snorer and you have to sleep, but these weren't like overnight flights. They weren't red eyes or anything. So I don't know. Maybe I should have slept before the flight, but Anyways, yeah. No, I thought that was funny. And then, okay, my last story, we were flying home. We were at the airport today, and the girl in front of me had like a little water bottle, like a little plastic one, and it was full. And the people were like, "You can't put that through." And it was closed. Like she had bought it, I think, or something. So she thought she could take it through. So she was like,
because it wasn't
annoyed.
Open,
yeah, but they were like, "No, you can't take it through." So she was annoyed by it, but she just straight just like chugs it all, and so her cheeks are like so full of water, and she's like trying to find some place to throw the bottle away, but the water's like coming out of her mouth and her cheeks are still full. I'm like, girl, why did you do that? You should have just
it's just water.
It's water. Like, and like you're going through security, and then you can get, and the water bottle was so tiny, like I'm sure it cost $2. I'm like,
yeah. She's like, my water.
I know. She was so annoyed, so then she just like chugs it, but I'm like, you're about to like spit that all out. It was like coming out of her mouth.
Oh my gosh. That's horrible.
I asked Jackson later, I was like, did you see that girl chug the water? And he was like, no, I totally missed that. He's like, how were you not cracking up? But our flight was early to come home, so I was like dead. I was so tired. So
internally laughing.
I was laughing internally, but it was a good thing because I actually would have just like cracked up if I had been properly caffeinated at that point.
Yeah. That's so funny. Wait, okay, I thought of one more thing that I need to say before we get into the episode. I'm sorry, guys, but bear with me. This will be quick. But I can't believe I forgot to mention this when you asked like what's new with me. But I went to the Morgan Wallen concert on Thursday.
Oh my gosh.
In Indy, and it was so good. I love Morgan Wallen. He's so good. His songs are just fabulous. Yeah. Anyways,
he's so good at concert.
Yeah, but I went with two of my roommates, and obviously, like, we're college students. We don't have a lot of money. So we bought, like, the cheapest tickets that we could find. So we are, like, legitimately 4 rows from the very back of the stadium. Like, we are so far up into the nosebleeds. But we're just happy to be there, you know? Like, yeah. But it reminded me so much of your Taylor Swift story of, like, you and Chloe.
Next to you?
No, because we were the screechers.
Oh no, Hallie!
I know, and the whole time I was like, "Oh my god, no!" I'm like being such a hypocrite right now. It wasn't even like as much me, but it was like my 2 roommates were like so into it, and like we were just like so passionate about like singing along. And then it made me realize, I'm like, oh my god, we're like so far up, like we don't deserve to be this passionate right now. And then it reminded me of the Taylor Swift story, and I was like, yeah, dang.
Well, okay, so if I don't know, if we have new listeners that maybe don't know the Taylor Swift thing, we posted a video of a fan that was sitting next to me at the Taylor Swift concert who was screaming so loud, and she was doing it the entire concert. And we were just more like, oh my gosh, this girl is so dedicated. How is she not like closer to this stage? But obviously Taylor Swift, you got the tickets where you could get them. But we got such divided comments on this post on Instagram. Half the people were very, very heated about it in support of thinking, I can't believe people would screech like that. Like, we paid for our tickets too. How could they ruin the experience for us? And then the other side of it was like, you know, she's just as much of a fan as anyone else. She can do whatever she wants. And so don't worry, Hallie, you have a lot of people on the internet who would support you for your screeching.
Oh, I know.
The other half of the world would hate you. So
yeah,
you can't please everybody. Do what you want.
Because, well, previously I was on the side of like, come on, like, be for real. Why are you like being obnoxious when you're at a concert? Like, other people want to hear too. And then like my friends were right next to me doing the same exact thing, and I was like, okay, but I kind of get it. Like, we should be allowed to like be passionate fans. Yeah. So then I was like so conflicted. I was like, oh man, this is like such a good debate, actually. Like, we need to get to the bottom of this.
Go join the comment section and fight there.
Yeah. Maybe I'll stir the pot.
Sure that would. Yeah. Oh no, we don't need any more people like
the pot has already been
each
stirred.
Other.
Yeah, there was drama.
People, be kind, whether it's on the internet or in person. Okay, that's all I gotta say about that. So
over.
Yeah, we are done with our chit chat. I'm sorry for those of you who are here just for Segovia content, but we will get into that now. So Hallie's got a great episode in store for us. I've never been to Segovia, so I'm excited to hear all about it. So enjoy today's episode on Segovia, Spain.
Okay, so if you're unfamiliar with Segovia, it definitely is like a little lesser known of a town compared to like Madrid or Barcelona, but it's basically a smaller town that's about an hour outside of Madrid. So it's a perfect place to go if you're in Madrid for like a few days and looking for day trips. A lot of people, the most common day trips from Madrid are Toledo and Segovia. And they're both about an hour outside of Madrid, but Segovia is just north and Toledo south. I just took a day trip to Segovia, so I'm going to give you guys as much information as I could gather in the extremely short amount of time that I was there, but it is kind of something that you can fit into a day.
Okay, perfect. So what is Segovia known for? I know nothing about it. So is there like one major thing it's known for, or what? Give us the rundown.
So there's a few things that it's known for, but primarily if you've heard of Segovia before, you've most likely heard of it because of the Aqueduct. That's like the main thing that's there. It's huge. You can't miss it when you go. It's over 90 feet tall. So it's like giant. And it's, if you don't know, I don't know, like, I feel like most people know like what an aqueduct is, but it's basically just like a ton of stone arches that carry water from outside the city to inside the city. Yeah.
Very ancient, and it's been around for a long time. It's not like new and modern. Do you know when
exactly.
it was, like when was it built, or do you know that?
The exact date isn't known because it's estimated around 112 AD. So we're talking like,
this is
a long time ago. So like obviously the historical records aren't like super accurate back then. But basically Segovia was an Iberian settlement starting in around 700 BC. So Segovia is a super old town.
So
but Romans, tons of history and everything, all the architecture. I mean, you can just tell how much history is there. It's super cool. But Romans took it over in 80 BC, and it was the Romans who came and built the aqueduct. And so this aqueduct, it's huge. It's made out of 25,000 granite blocks with no mortar. So all of the stones had to be perfectly shaped because there was no mortar to fill in the cracks.
That's insane that it's still standing today.
Exactly, with no mortar.
Wow.
Like it's just
the whole
rocks.
thing still in place, or is it kind of like the Colosseum in Rome where it's like partially still intact? Or
no, it's all there.
Wow.
It's all there, but I don't know how much it has been repaired. Like maybe they've done repairs on it. That I don't know. But I mean, it's all there. It's still standing. But it's the reason it's so like structurally sound is because of all the arches. That's like what makes it more sound. So but it's crazy. It's like unlike anything I've ever seen before. It's so cool. And it's actually a UNESCO World Heritage Site as well. So that's like the main thing that Segovia is known for.
And you just go and you see it and admire it. It's not like you don't have, is there like tours that you can get information on it or anything? Or it's mostly just like there and you...
Yeah, so when we went to Segovia, we did like a walking tour. We had like a tour guide that like led us through the whole city, which is what a lot of people do. There were tons of them going on when we were there. So that would maybe be something that I would recommend.
So much history. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, so that was really nice. But I mean, there's like roads that go under it. Like you can like drive under it. It's literally like the city has been built around the aqueduct. It's crazy. Yeah.
That's just so different. I mean, thinking about it, that's when... we go to Europe or these other ancient cities and see things like that, and we're so blown away by it. And then Europeans or people from outside the United States come here and they go to Chicago, New York, and they feel that same way about skyscrapers and stuff. I don't know. It's just so wild. I mean, that's just like normal for them, these ancient structures that are just their cities built around. Imagine if we just had one of that, like, through our little Midwest town. I don't know. It's just so wild.
And we're just like driving under it every day. Like it's just there. It's crazy.
So cool.
Another thing that Segovia is really known for is the Alcázar de Segovia, which is basically a castle that the royal family has lived in.
Okay.
It's very medieval, so it's just exactly what you would picture when you think of a castle, and it was actually the inspiration for Walt Disney's castle, or the castle in the Cinderella movie. So the Disney World, Disneyland castle was inspired by the castle in Segovia.
Like the logo in the Walt Disney.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah. Oh, that's a fun
And when
fact.
when you see it, I mean, it makes sense. You're like, wow, this is like the most magnificent castle. Like, it just like looks like the stereotype of like a Disney World castle.
Right.
Like, it's,
right.
yeah. So it's so cool. And we like went inside. You can go inside, walk around. There's also like guided tours in there as well, or you're welcome to just like walk around yourself.
Is it used for anything now other than just tours to show people what it was used for? Okay.
To my knowledge, no one in the royal family lives there now, but there were a lot of famous monarchs that did live there throughout history, such as King Ferdinand, and also it is where Queen Isabel was crowned, and Queen Isabel is the monarch that funded the exploration of Christopher Columbus. So she was a pretty big deal. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it was built in the 12th century. So another very
lots of
big piece of history.
Very cool. How big is it? Is it enormous? Like, did it take you guys a long time to go through it?
You can't go through all of it, but like the part that we went through, I mean, yeah, it's like pretty big, but there's so much of it that you can't even access. Yeah. So it's enormous, like so breathtaking.
Yeah.
And it's like on the side of this hill, so you can like see it from everywhere. It's so cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. What else?
So the next thing that Segovia is known for is Cochinillo, which is a food. I wish you like didn't know what this was, because I would have you guess, but I know you already know.
Yeah.
It's suckling pigs, so like a piglet basically, and it's a Segovia delicacy. I'm pretty sure you can only get it there. Like, that's like really what it's known for, is like in Segovia. I regret not trying it because I wish I could like say if it's worth getting or not, but also
share your experience with eating a small pig.
But also like the thought of it is like so sad to me. Like, I just couldn't do it.
Did other people that you were with try it?
Yes, other people that were in my program tried it, and they said it was good. So, and I'm sure it is, because it's famous.
Doesn't it come as
they serve it?
See exactly what it is you're eating
in piglet form. Like, it comes out as like a piglet on a plate. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. And I'm like not even a vegetarian. Like, I eat meat. Like, that doesn't like bother me, but I couldn't do it.
Oh,
so,
and it's not just like a thing to do in Segovia. Like, people eat it often. Locals do, right? Or more of like on special occasions they'll do this, and now it's become like a tourist little gimmicky thing to do? Or?
I honestly don't know, but it's like everywhere. Like, there's signs for it everywhere.
Yeah. Okay, so you can get it at most places, most restaurants and stuff.
Yeah, in Segovia. Yeah.
I kind of wish you tried it just so we could.
I know. I like have regrets because I wish I could like be on this podcast saying like,
it's ham, it's bacon, or whatever. I mean, I'm sure it tastes just like that, but. Yeah, why they just don't keep it in the whole form?
I know. That makes it so much more disturbing. I don't like it.
Yeah. I even feel that way sometimes when I have like a whole fish on my plate, and that's just a fish. It's not a little pig.
But
you'll probably do it if you ever go back to Segovia. You probably will try it.
No, I will, because now I'm like, I was there. Like, am I probably ever going to go back? Probably not. So like, if I do get the chance to go back, like, I feel like I have to.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you think? Do you think you would eat it?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I would say I would to try it, because I like to try whatever that place is known for wherever I go.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's just like a cultural thing. So,
but I don't know. Will I try escargot in France? We'll see, because I haven't done that yet.
Something that was interesting to me is I have friends at IU from New Zealand, because they like play sports here. and they came from New Zealand. And one of like the biggest shocks to them when they came to the US was how much turkey we ate, because they don't eat turkey there. Like that is not a thing. And they were like so disturbed when like they were served like turkey. Yeah. And like, it's like, that's such a common thing here. We don't even think twice about it. And for them, that was like so awful to think about. Like they can't eat it.
Wild turkeys in New Zealand, or why is it?
I don't know.
Would that be like us eating geese?
Yeah, I have no idea. Like I
mean, imagine like if geese, you know, how geese are just everywhere. And so if you go somewhere where they're like, oh yeah, we eat geese like all the time. Like I wonder though, if they just have all these wild turkeys that are like everywhere, is that why it's weird for them to eat turkey?
Ew, I cannot think about eating geese. Okay. Turkeys are native to the Americas, and most of the traditional Kiwi dishes are of British or European origin. So it is a foreign food. That's what people from New Zealand are called, Kiwis.
Oh, Kiwis?
Yeah.
Wow, I've never heard that.
Really? It's because like the kiwi bird is like their national bird, and so they like call themselves Kiwis.
Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was like,
no, you're good.
So
yeah. So it's just like a foreign food. It's like expensive there, I guess, because they don't really have turkey there. So I guess it's like the opposite of what you were saying. It's not that there's like a bunch in the wild. There's like none.
So that'd be like us eating like a rare cut of steak just like all the time in our
No, it's not even that. It's not like steak though. It's like something that is like disgusting to think that we would eat. Like that's why I'm comparing it to like the suckling pig.
Yeah.
Because it's like to us, that's just like so foreign that like the thought of that is like bizarre.
Yeah.
And that's how they feel about us eating turkey. Okay. So the last thing that I'll talk about that a lot of people go to see in Segovia is the cathedral there. It's another very big piece of architecture. Very Gothic, absolutely beautiful. You can also go in here and walk around. It was built in 1525. So once again, a lot of history, just beautiful. Like everything's so ornate and detailed, and lots of stained glass, lots of religious history. If you're really into history and like museums and tours, Segovia is great. I would like definitely recommend. If not, it's still great to like go and walk around and just admire.
I was gonna say, I feel like it pairs really well with a Madrid, because Madrid has everything else that Segovia maybe would be lacking. Again, we don't know for sure because we didn't, like Hallie didn't get to experience if there's nightlife or anything like that in Segovia. But
there's not.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say probably not, because that's how Toledo was, which I did the equivalent day trip to Toledo when I was studying abroad that Hallie did in Segovia. And yeah, it just seemed more of just like you were transported back in time and you went to this like old European city, versus Madrid felt like a normal big city where they have shopping, restaurants, concerts, all these things to do. But if you want to kind of escape the hustle and bustle of the big city, get a little bit more laid back day trip, I feel like there's so many good little options that are perfect distance from Madrid to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Segovia's, like you said, it's the complete opposite of Madrid, because Madrid's this huge city. Segovia feels like a town. It's completely walled in. It's in the middle of nowhere. Like you go outside of the walls and it's just like wilderness. Not wilderness, but just like sand. Like there's just like nothing like outside of the walls. Yeah. And the population's only about 52,000. It might be a little higher now. I think that was the population in like 2020.
Okay.
But so like it's like a town. It feels like a town. It's very walkable. It's very charming. It just is like a complete, you feel like you're transported into a completely different like country almost. So yeah, very cool. But one way to know that you're definitely still in Spain is that we were there for most of the siesta hours. And that was like kind of a bummer because everything was closed.
Yeah.
And like I know we've talked about this before, but like in places like Madrid, those big cities, like they're still gonna have a lot of stores open. Like they don't really follow siesta because it's like a giant city.
Right.
Segovia, a small town like that,
everything
was closed. town was completely shut down. And so it's like we had like a couple hours of free time to walk around and explore, and it was all during siesta, and so we couldn't even like really go do anything,
Right.
which is just the American in me that really frustrates me, because I'm like, why isn't everything open and convenient for me? But
I hate wasted time too.
Exactly.
And it was so hot, so you had nowhere to escape to.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, we were just like walking through the streets, which it was still nice because like obviously there's still a lot to look at even when you're just like walking around and exploring. But yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, yeah, I learned a lot that I didn't know any of that about Segovia, so that was great.
Yeah,
Thanks,
I know
Al.
I'm definitely not the most knowledgeable. I was there for like 6 hours, but like I said, I feel like a lot of people that do go to Segovia is like a very short like day trip kind of thing.
Right.
So that's
Yeah,
what you
and-
can fit into your day trip if you decide to go.
Right. And this is, again, we just like to highlight all these small towns that maybe are less well known because, yeah, if you happen to be in Madrid, I know a lot of study abroad programs go to Madrid and offer a lot of day trip opportunities or things like that. Or you just maybe randomly in your life will meet someone from Segovia or something like that. You just never know. And I just love learning about, obviously, Segovia has such unique culture that's even different than Madrid and things like that. And so you can, get to know all the little places around the world, which we love that. We love to see how each place is unique. So
yes, exactly. And if you happen to be a really big Disney fan, you should definitely go and see.
Cute. If you missed the end of our episode last week, we had some announcements about the next few episodes. So we have a couple more that we have planned the next 2 weeks before we take some time off. So make sure you don't miss those. And this will give you plenty of time to catch up on old episodes if you skipped some. So when we take our time off. But otherwise, you guys know the drill. Please leave us a 5-star review.